Girls Run These Worlds. I am Everis, she, her pronouns, or should I say I am Everis. Welcome to Inspirisles episode 5. Episode 5 of 6, the penultimate episode. For those who don't know, Inspirisles is an all-ages tabletop role-playing game promoting storytelling, empathy, and deaf awareness with an emphasis on cooperation. We will be learning some sign language live on stream. We have been for 4 episodes now, so we're getting a little better, and we just went up to level 2, which means we can stop finger spelling and start using more complex signs. So that's cool. If you want to play along, the sign language alphabets for both American and British Sign Language should be flashing up on your screen. So without further ado, let's introduce our cast for this evening. Unfortunately, Maddie playing Bobby cannot be with us tonight. We'll have her hopefully back next episode. But first up on my screen, we have Nox. Nox, would you tell the people at home who you are, who you're playing?
Hi, y'all. I'm Nox. Nope. Nox. And I'll be playing Ellie. That's a lot easier for me. Yeah, my pronouns are she, her, and so she, hers, she, her, hers, and so are Ellie's. I apparently talked so much during the green room that I am no longer forming words correctly, so I'm just going to stop talking.
It's fine. You'll get back on track. Just warming up. And next up we have Gaskinator.
Hello, my name is Gaskinator, and I stay quiet during the green room, so you know I can talk good. Okay, hello, I'm Gaskinator, she, her pronouns. That is Gask. Wow. I'm playing Dahi, who uses he, him pronouns. Oh god, that's Dahi. Wait, no, H is this. He. And yes, very good talk today. Get ready for it.
Amazing. Okay, Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I use she, her pronouns. I also have sign name this for Taylor. And I'm playing Briar. The overlap in letters between my name and Briar's, whenever I start to sign Briar's name, I almost start just signing half. Like I switch over halfway through and sign Taylor.
Is it an anagram? Are we just discovering this?
No,
really awkward 5 episodes in.
It's just the R's. I start like kind of being like, okay, or like the A. Anyway, yeah, and Briar also uses the earth and growth and things like that as her powers. That's me.
Wonderful. And finally, Fiona.
I knew I was going last because I was the last to get in. Hello, everyone. My name is Fiona. I am playing Morgan. Yeah. And my element is air. We're both using she, her pronouns. And I've heard it's going to be a cracking episode all about me. So buckle up, folks. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
No. It's all about Horse Morgan.
Oh, no. Well, I don't...
Sorry. I'm so sorry for the... You see, I just thought when I said Morgan, you'd know which one I meant.
Yeah. Loads of people say that, apparently.
We'll put you in the credits as an extra, though.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, totally.
Guest star.
Yeah.
But
Morgan
starring Fiona as human
yeah,
Morgan.
With, yeah.
Yeah. Also, we have to give credit to our producer tonight, Ryu. Thank you so much. Without our producer, we would not be here, and we certainly wouldn't be able to focus on this story that we are telling together. So thank you, Ryu. Okay, so recap. Last time we started off with a bang. We battled the Black Knight, or at least somebody in his armor. After some incredible teamwork, we sent him packing, and shortly thereafter saw the arrival of the gallant Gull carrying one of the inspired Vorm, who we met, spoke to. Ellie was able to drop a piece of lore that she actually knows the young man in Mordred's armor. She knows him as Eric. a younger pupil an older pupil, older than Ellie, from her school, who disappeared 6 months ago. After this, we journeyed to Avalon and finally caught our first glimpse of the World Tree, the spiritual center of the Isles, which you are tasked with restoring to health. You saw the wound that is the source of the worry and the trouble that you are trying to resolve. You attended a council of the Silver Apples, or the Silver Apples. Ex-Pendragons who have stayed in the Isles to be noble knights protecting the land from disbelief. You took part in the council, told them what you know about this Black Knight and the trouble he's been causing, discussed different options, and finally they all headed out across the lands to warn people, protect important sites, etc., etc. You were left trying to figure out if maybe a piece of the sword Excalibur might be present at Avalon. You tried a couple of different things, including tracking boars, giant tracking boars.
It worked, didn't it?
Sure. Yes.
There was a few grapes as sacrifice,
a few grapes lost to the cause. Before Briar used her earth sense and earth powers to check in with the tree itself, the World Tree, where the boars stopped. She had a brief, slightly cryptic conversation with another of the inspired, Igraine, the earth inspired, and this helped her to figure out that a shard of Excalibur was buried deep within a knot of the World Tree, which you were able to extract by joining together and offering some of the belief you gathered to the tree, slightly healing the wound, not entirely, and also receiving as a gift in return the second piece of Excalibur. So you have 2 out of 3. We left off with you returning your giant boars, Boris, Ambor, Tiborius, Deborah, to
Morgan.
the Borgen, to the boar stables, where you were giving them scritches and, mildly telling them off for eating a lot of the grapes at this lovely magical vineyard. When Ellie, out of the corner of her eye, saw one of her friend Faye, an older Capra woman, beckoning her. There are some Capra encamped here at Avalon. They have come to pick up some wine produced by Igraine's vineyard and take it back to World Spa, where they're from. So it is now, to set the scene, it's heading into afternoon, early evening at the vineyard. You travelled for a lot of this day on the Gallant Gull, and then the council took a few hours. You've been searching for a while, so it's the air is starting to cool, the sun is starting to set, and Ellie, you have been beckoned. You see this goat woman with a kind of knitted shawl over her shoulders, and you see her kind of crook a finger beckoning you to follow her. The rest of you are kind of distracted with taking care of the boars, brushing them down, giving them scritches, coming up with pun names, the usual. So Ellie, what do you do?
Oh, I'm immediately following. Immediately following.
So you fall into step with this older Capra woman who doesn't even check to see if you're following. She just starts slowly making her way. And you come up alongside her and she says, "I've heard that you do a bit of crochet."
Yeah, I love crocheting.
I need a bit of your help then, if you'd be so kind. And she sort of carries on going. She says, I'm Maple. Lovely to meet you. And sort of reaches out a hand to shake yours.
It's nice to meet you too. I'm Ellie.
Yes, we've heard of you. And she keeps going. It's slow progress, but after a little while, you reach the Capra encampment, which is a bit set away from the various sort of vine and leaf covered buildings of the Silver Apples compound at Avalon. It is a set of wooden wagons, those sort of barrel like wagons. They are all painted in shades of green and white, beautiful, mostly green, but with beautiful white vine patterns trailing all over them. There is a campfire, various Capra sort of gathering around, cooking their evening meal. And they sort of look up as you come in, and they all sort of wave and sort of, oh, hello, you know, and just come and greet you and make a fuss. And Maple's like, back off, I need her help. You can talk to her later. And so she takes you over to her wagon, which she asks for a hand up. It's like, oh, my legs aren't what they used to be. If you give me a hand up, we're just going in here.
Yeah, sure. I'll help her up.
You help her up. And you go into this wagon, and it's cozy inside. There's a little bit of a basin for water, a few hanging herbs and fruits and vegetables for cooking, and sort of the back is dominated by a big bed. There are shelves and a couple of chairs in here, and the shelves are full of yarn. And she sort of considers for a second, pulls some down and hands you some, and says, right, so do you know how to knit booties? We've had a baby born in camp a bit early, and we need to make sure that she's going to have enough to keep her warm before we get home. If you'd be so kind as to help.
Yeah, I can definitely help.
Okay, very good. Well, so how are you finding the Isles? She gets on with crocheting, casting yarn.
It's a lot different what I'm used to, but it's really pretty here.
Oh yes, it's very beautiful. Pretty. Of course, I've never been where you're from, so I don't know much about it. What's it like?
It's really hot. Not a lot of trees or nature. But it's nice in its own way. I like how much I like the trees here and plants. The only tree in my area is in front of my house.
Wow. That's a shame, but I'm sure it's nice. I can't really picture it. So, do you remember your ancestor? I think she'd be your great grandmother. You've just missed her.
Do you know? I know nothing. I came here and was completely surprised.
Oh, well, I'll be delighted to tell you about her. She was a good friend of mine, was Shauna. Shauna the Wise, we called her. She lived to be 100 years old in the Isles before she decided to go home and be a teenager again. I can't imagine that, can you? But I suppose Definitely. If she's your direct ancestor, then she must be about maybe your grandmother's mother, maybe your grandfather's mother, something like that. Don't know if you will have met her.
Yeah, I think I did when I was younger.
Oh, well, that's nice. She was a wonderful woman. Our wagons are painted green to camouflage them mostly, because the land between here and home is all very green. And of course, Weldspar, the big problem we've got is trolls. But I'll tell you what, that problem would be way worse if it weren't for Shauna.
That's really cool.
Yeah. You see, some of the trolls are just a menace. They're always building these bridges, trying to get over the walls, trying to get in, take everything from everybody, steal whatever they can find. But some of them are friends. Not loads, but some. And we never thought of making friends with trolls before Shauna suggested it. She had a way of thinking of things that other people wouldn't have seen. And, when she first suggested it, a lot of people didn't like the idea. Negotiate with trolls, make friends with trolls. They thought she'd gone stark raving mad, but she stuck to her guns. And now, well, we've cut the troll problem in half. Because those that are friends, well, they stop the ones that aren't. She finishes a booty and puts it down and says, well, how are you getting on?
I'll hold it up, and I'll also have one done by now. And it's
very
probably
good.
green.
Wow, that's lovely, that is. I think we can take these over. Do you want to meet the baby?
I'd love to.
She nods and she gets you to help her down and, gathers up some of the things she's already knitted and sort of asks for your arm and leans on you. She's a bit shorter than you. Like most of the Capra are only a tiny bit shorter than Ellie, but Maple's quite a bit shorter. You get the sense that she's kind of shrunk a little bit in her old age. The others sort of nod as you pass. She's clearly respected in her little community. You go to another of the wagons where there are two adult Capra sat, one in bed, nestled in her arms is a bundle. And Maple sort of looks in and goes, are we all right to come in? And they sort of look up tired and dazed and sort of nod and look back at the child. And you come in and you see a little baby goat, a humanoid goat, little fuzzy face, tiny little horns, eyes not open yet. Just sort of, as you lean over and look, it kind of yawns and sort of resettles itself against its mum. And she looks up and says, it's an honour to have you visit us. I'm sorry, I'm very tired.
It's okay. Your baby's adorable.
Maple hands over the things that you've knitted and they're very grateful. And you are invited to have dinner there with the Capra. Maple takes you to the campfire and says, well, if there's anything you want to ask about the Isles that you haven't been able to ask your helpers or your friends, then, let us know. We'd love to help.
I mean, I feel like I have so many questions. I can't think of anything specific. It's all completely new.
She reaches out a hand and sort of pats yours with hers and says, that's okay. You can come and see us at Weldspar anytime and you'll be so welcome. Shauna's well known and you look just like her.
It's just really cool that knowing that people loved her so much. It's also a little scary thinking that I might not be as good at this as she is.
Well, it's not. It's not a competition. And, you've already helped. That kid's feet will be much warmer because of you. And that's not nothing.
Did she use fire too?
Oh, yes. Yes. She was a fiery one.
Did she know how to use it without it just burning things?
I think she struggled at first. It took years to master. It's a dangerous one, the old fire, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not a shaper, so I don't have to worry about those things. But yeah, it was difficult. And, it wasn't just the fire of the shaping. It was, well, she had trouble sometimes staying calm when she knew she was right, did Shauna.
Oh, we're definitely related. Yeah, that makes sense. I do that too.
Well, eventually she had to be a little bit patient with us, but she persisted. She was brave, and she was steadfast, and she changed things for the better. And I think you can probably do the same.
Thank you. That helps a
And
lot.
either way, we don't care about big deeds or nothing. You always have a home with us.
Thank you.
All right, have some of this stew. Sort of deals some out and hands it to you, and you are welcome to sort of sit with the Capra for the rest of the evening.
Yes.
Cool. They tell you you're okay to invite your friends over if you want as well. What does everybody else get up to while this is happening? Is there anything else that the rest of you want to do while you're in this space before we go to the next morning and traveling and everything?
It doesn't have to be role played, but there definitely would be damage control for what happened with the boars, and whether or not that's Morgan on her own, or
I was
just
thinking Briar would do that too. So
yeah. So I'm just like, we're so sorry, picking up all these grapes and maybe trying to put them back on. Going, no, we'll just pop them into a bucket.
There's just one of the silver apples who's been left behind to take care of the boars while everybody else has gone riding out, and they're just sort of like, I wouldn't mind, but it's every new set of Pendragons makes the same mistake. You think we'd put a watch on the boars?
Maybe
It's
a
too
sign.
much of a temptation. A sign?
Yeah.
Like, please don't let the boars out?
I don't think we'd. I think we would ignore that sign when it's for a
No.
bigger purpose. Look, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but lesser Pendragons would see it.
I apologize on behalf of my
Lesser
colleagues.
Pendragons. Well, wonderful. Well, no harm done. I'm sure Igraine can mend the issue without even thinking about it. So it's fine. But the real problem is the boars aren't going to want their feed. They're going to expect grapes, magic grapes.
maybe it's kind of like a thing like it's good for the boars to every once in a while get grapes. It's like how you think a forest fire is just bad, but it's just part of the cycle. So maybe the Pendragon's letting the boars out. It's just part of the cycle.
I lean over to Brian and go, maybe don't boar-splain to the person who looks after the boars.
I am a Pendragon. I might know a little bit.
Do you have? Did you go to Boar Club? I did not go to Boar Club. I have no badges on it, so I believe the silver apple. Whatever they say goes.
Just something to think about.
Did you not
I
go
was
to
a
Boar Club
Pendragon
'cause there was
too
other
in my
members in it?
time. I was a Pendragon too in my time. I know a thing or
Mm.
two about the boars. I just know.
Did
that
you
they
go to
get
Boar
grumpy
Club?
for a week? I mean, this is Boar Club.
Then I've also been to Boar. If this is Boar Club, I've also been to Boar
At least
Club.
the first rule, gather everyone. The first rule of Boar Club is that we don't talk about Boar Club. Okay, look, let's just sort this all out right now. And I go
Do you
chase
guys
after
do
a
that
boar.
thing here where you squish grapes with your feet to make it into wine?
Oh, yeah, it's a vineyard. So that's the whole deal.
Why are we doing that while having this conversation?
Or the boars could do that.
Well,
The boars
I
could
don't
do
think-
that and then get some of the grapes as a treat. Win, 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 win.
I start
Just
picking up
breeds.
grapes.
Grapes?
Grape.
Oh,
A special
no.
kind of grape on its side.
It's just like, look, the boars are going to be grumpy, but they will be fine. Everything is okay. It's just high spirits. I understand. You're young.
I have a question. If every new group of Pendragons has done this, does that mean that you also did this when you were a Pendragon?
That's not the point.
Ooh.
Well, I just think then you know how it
Ooh.
feels, and I won't say anything else.
He goes off and starts like raking up straw and kind of muttering to himself, just sort of like, think they know everything. You kids these days.
Pesky kids.
Scriv comes around the corner, is like, oh, there you are. So, how are we doing? Everything okay? I
Just
kind of
annoying
lost
other
track of you
authority
after the.
figures.
Okay.
Morgan and Briar are getting really good at it now.
No, I would never do anything like that. Honestly, Scrib, honest. you. I look up to you, and I go into a whole speech about because I'm very aware that this devastation, which is probably kind of small in the grand scheme of things, is all around me, and I have nothing.
Oh no.
Scriv listens to your like monologue, and there's like, to be clear, I can't give you detention or anything. No,
But we
Anything.
need to be punished. We clearly caused all this trouble, and we need to face the consequences. There must be something.
What, me? I can do this.
We were all responsible.
Perhaps tomorrow morning, before we leave, you could get up early and help to muck out the boar stables. And you hear a voice behind from that silver apple like, oh yes, I think that would definitely do it. Oh yes, mucking out the boar stables. Yes, I think so.
Oh, we were supposed to squish the grapes with our feet.
Wouldn't squish the
Make
feet.
them wine.
Wouldn't do that with your feet after we've done this, honestly.
So, I believe that Shedscale is on the cards tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Well, there is a sort of mess hall where all the silver apples, there's only about 5 of them left, of course, are going to be having dinner. You'll be able to eat there. Where's Ellie gone?
Went with some goat people.
Oh, she's bonding with her friends. Oh, very good. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, any luck with the shard? How is this not the first thing that you mentioned?
Well, I was panicking. I'm sorry. Everything's falling
this
apart.
More than makes up for the boars.
Oh, what?
So we don't have to muck the stables tomorrow?
Oh no, I think we've promised now. So, but piece of a legendary sword, a few grapes lost. That's a big win.
So the mausoleum up there, is that Arthur and Guinevere?
Yes, it is. Yes,
should we go up there and be like,
oh yes, you should pay your respects.
Hey, Grandpa, good, great that you sent us here, you know?
Pay our
respects. Because we're technically descendants, right?
I think that would be very appropriate. I think, all 5 of you should go together, really. Ellie, if you go and find, I mean, the Kappa camp is easy to find. I mean, perhaps she won't want to go, but you should at least ask. It would be, yes, I think it would be very appropriate to go and pay your respects.
We could always go before we leave tomorrow after we've, cleared out the balls. Everyone, we're all team players here, so we can all do that. And
maybe, if it's really important to pay our respects, then maybe we should do that instead of the boar thing, since really.
No, yeah. Ryan. I think you've made a promise on the boards.
But we can't like say we're not going to represent ourselves well to Peepaw Arthur if we're smelling like boar dung.
Also, I didn't make a promise, and you said that you can't give us detention.
It's true, but if you want to see Stuart disappointed, and the silver apple that you've been talking to, you now realise is called Stuart, is stood there like. Oh, disappointing.
Well, of course we wouldn't go without Ellie, of course. So makes sense. So maybe tomorrow after we clear out stuff, have breakfast, and then before we head off.
Yes, and I think this means that you could have an evening off and relax and enjoy yourselves. And yes, you've earned it. It's been a intense couple of days. Okay, so you set about spending an evening. It's a beautiful sunset. It's warm enough to sit outside to eat. There are plenty of good things to eat here. Trade with Weldspar means that you've got all the good things. So Yeah, and you're in Igraine's garden. All of the best fruits and vegetables are grown here.
Oh,
So you
but
have a
we're
delicious meal.
teenagers. Ew, fruits and vegetables. Yeah. Where's my Doritos?
Dorothy eats a full chicken, and that's it.
Rotisserie chicken.
Just a
He's
full
a
rotisserie
growing
chicken and a
boy.
wheel of cheese. That's
Oh,
it.
heck yeah, wheel of cheese.
Okay, cool. Anything else you'll want to do, or shall we fast forward through the night? We don't have to role play you knocking out the boss.
Oh, but surely that's a disbelief battle of
Yeah.
massive proportions, though.
Under the watchful eye of Stuart, who is there to help you, it is not difficult so much as it is just kind of gross. But yeah, afterwards there are baths run for you, and Scriv gets up about an hour after you do. She's like, "Oh, so did you do the boar thing? Oh, very good. Oh, I wasn't sure if you would. Well, I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed. Oh, let's see about breakfast, shall we?" Brian just shaking head. We eat a hearty breakfast, and yeah, then Scriv leads you up to this mausoleum. It's sort of set onto a hill with a good view of the World Tree, and it's kind of simple. It's just sort of a stone structure, a couple of pillars, carved like a pair of beautiful women kind of clasping their hands and looking downwards. There is a door with carved lettering. It is mostly in Brittonic again, but you can make out Arthur and Guinevere. And Scriv tells you, oh, it's a very simple inscription, really. Just, here lies Arthur and Guinevere, friends of the Fae. Size of Pendragons. So, yes, it's not, it's understated, but yes, I think I'll leave you alone for a minute here, just to pay your respects. I've been here lots of times, and she kind of sort of curtsies a little bit at the mausoleum and walks away and leaves you there.
Is
What's
it?
up, Big A? Any leads on Excalibur?
Yeah, he.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you too, Gigi.
I in this awkward silence move ahead, sort of bow my head towards. Did you say it was like a plain sort of tomb, or so like?
It's a sort of, it's above ground tomb. It's
Mm.
kind of like a pointed roof. Just a small square building with a pitched roof and a couple of columns to either side of a stone closed doorway with the carving on.
Okay. Unless anyone else says otherwise, I'll go up to the door and open it and sort of indicate for others to come join me to go in.
Yeah, running through.
Let's go.
Oh, don't run.
Okay.
Not in a tomb.
But the
It's
echo's
kind
so
of-
cool.
It's not a big space
Doc
beyond.
Eater
It's
said
kind of,
people.
it's not a large space beyond. It's kind of the size of kind of a small double bedroom, you open the door. It is heavy and it's not been opened in a while, and it sort of creaks open. Beyond, you see two sarcophaguses, both heavy stone with the likenesses of two figures carved into the top, sort of lying on their backs, eyes closed, crowns on, both holding swords clasped to their chests. These are not them, they're just carved figures, but one is feminine, presenting with sort of curled locks going over her shoulders, and the other is masculine, presenting with a pointed beard. It is eerily quiet in here and cool. The day was just warming up outside, with the sun having risen and starting to come over the nearby hills, but it is cool and calm and dusty in here.
It's kind of wild that all this stuff that, you always just hear stories, and, I kind of thought that Arthur and all that stuff probably never happened, and it's kind of a lot to find all this stuff is true, and even more wild stuff is true in just like a couple days.
It's definitely.
Does that mean we're royalty? We're descended from like a king of England?
I mean, I think that's why everyone's so like,
Mm.
deferential to us.
Mm.
That makes me feel less good. Ooh, I got monarchy blood. Ew.
What
I don't
what
think Arthur is the same line as the current monarchy. Like, I think they're descended from somebody else, so I think we're good from all that.
Yes, I think so too.
So
I
we
think-
don't have to worry about that monarchy.
I think, if anything, it's. I sort of turned around to these guys and I sort of say, I know that at times I might have been a little bit uptight.
At times.
Yeah, at times. That's like
A little bit.
Yeah, tiny, possibly. I'm aware. It's just when you look at it all, and I point back to the two stone figures. It's quite scary when you think about it. Like, well, we have such a big part to play, that there are people behind us that have had such big parts to play, and there'll be more of us in the future. But I think we can do this together. And with the current threat, I hope, well, inspired by Dahi a little bit, if there's anything you can help us with, Arthur and Guinevere, show us a sign.
I swear, skeletons come out. I am going to
No,
kill you.
I'm not touching them again. I'm not touching them. I'm literally stood back, hands out.
Want us to move the lids off,
No,
skeleton
I
toucher?
certainly do not want you to touch anything in this room, Dahi. Keep your hands to yourself. Your dirty ball hands to yourself.
What the hell? I watched after the dung thing.
As you're debating, you hear something breaks the silence. You hear the sound of thunderous rushing water, and you look up, and on the back wall of this mausoleum you see, as if it's turned into kind of a misty window, you see a huge waterfall thundering down, and you see it is this massive waterfall that comes down over many layers of a cliff and then bisects and flows into two streams that then rejoin. And the island created by those two streams, you see a town with wooden buildings. And as you look, you see the waterfall thundering, sort of a mottled grey sky, and the sun comes out and you see a rainbow formed by the mist coming off the waterfall. And then, as quickly as it appears, it sort of vanishes back into stone.
Did you get all that for the journal?
Yep. I've been drawing this whole time. But also, I can't believe something that Dahi did outside actually worked.
What is it not?
Do you want
Writing
the
a
answer
journal?
to that in chronological order, or?
So we
At this
train under a
point-
waterfall for the next 10 years, right?
At this point,
Like a
Scrib
true
kind of
martial arts
appears in the
master.
doorway and kind of sort of knocks on the stone, like, knock, knock.
Oh, yeah, says knock, knock while knocking.
Yeah, knock, knock.
The move.
Terribly sorry to disturb. We do have to. So we're going to Shedscale, yes. So the means of travel, we might miss it. So yes,
If only
we have to catch
could
the.
have had more time this morning to do things we wanted to do.
Well, I'm sorry, I forgot what time the Bolt Heart comes. So yes, we apparently have just enough time. It's time to say goodbye, but yes, we do need to get going. Terribly sorry. I'll have your ponies ready, and she goes down the hill.
So, like, we're the coolest Pendragons ever, right? None of them
You can't keep
silver apples
saying
down there.
that when we're in a town full of other Pendragons.
That's what I'm saying. Is any of them living in this town with the mausoleum next to them seen King Arthur visions? Nuh-uh.
They didn't find Excalibur at the very
We don't
least.
know. Okay, that's fair. They didn't do that.
And their meetings are run extremely poorly.
We taught them how to raise
yeah.
their hands.
I think
That's
we might
true.
not be.
We are making improvements.
We might not be the best, but we certainly are the most competent right now, which is a lot.
Hey.
Do you think that we're all gonna have like the competent after our names? You know how you have your ancestor has the relentless after her name?
No, I think Morgan's gonna be Morgan the Skeleton Toucher.
No,
Morgan the Skeleton Toucher.
No.
Yeah, I
no.
get
Maybe that
that.
would mean you're going to be like a doctor or something. That could be
No.
cool.
You can see Morgan's holding her journal, and it definitely says Morgan the Determined's journal.
Oh,
Oh, you give yourself the nickname.
No, I haven't. And
I think
thank you for your guidance. And then I walk out like really bright red, embarrassed.
So Morgan the Skeleton Toucher, Bobby the Bubbler.
I leave before I can hear what Dahi says.
Yeah, there you go.
Before you hear Dai's assessment of what Briar is.
I'm just
Okay.
kind of curious what mine is.
Well, it's Briar the grower.
That's horrible.
I don't know how to say. Dahi doesn't know how to say like planter, farmer. The botanist doesn't know any of them words.
Better than skeleton toucher that I've got going
Yeah.
on.
Oh, and then yeah, Ellie the artist.
Oh.
See, I'm okay with that. Mine was good. Hey.
Hey, that's what happens when you come down to the drawing section. You get the cool names.
Before we head out of the mausoleum, Ellie's just really quickly gonna like look at the figures and just like quickly be like, help me figure out how to use this in a way that isn't just destroying stuff. And then gonna like bow her head and then leave quickly.
Okay, great. So you get back down to the stables. Your ponies are there and ready. Scriv is saddled up and he's like, come along. Cecily is there with her too and kind of nods to you all. And you head out. As you leave, the Capra are preparing to leave as well, and they kind of wave to you all as you're heading out. And you travel over a few hills before you reach a solitary train station and see rails leading through it. It's just got the one platform. And Scriv is sort of saying, so this is quite new, which is why I forgot. But it is the quickest way for us to get up north. This is the Bolt Heart that will be arriving shortly. It's a Pisky invention. It's these incredible sort of metal automata that pull this train, really, but powered by belief. It's fascinating. It goes awfully fast, but yes, it does stop at a few different stops, so it will get us to Shedscale more quickly than riding. Give your ponies a rest. The ponies can come aboard as well. And she just kind of continues explaining. But as you wait on the platforms, come down off your horses and sort of comfort them, you hear the sort of that sounds like a steam train approaching, but instead of the normal hoot hoot, you hear woo, clock, 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 and you see metal horses.
Not the Pony Express!
Of 6 metal horses.
Very cool.
pulling this basically train carriage behind them, a single train carriage. They are made of dark metal, and they just and they screech to a halt at the platform. And your horses kind of seem a little bit phased by these, but you calm them down. And Scrib says, okay, yes, everybody on board. There is part of the one carriage that is kind of horse stables, and another part that kind of has chairs and benches. It's not incredibly luxurious. There are basic things like curtains and things like that, but it is comfortable enough. And as soon as you're all settled, the horses whinny again and set off. At first, it's normal train speed, but after a bit of a run up, it starts going faster and faster and faster until the countryside is just whizzing past either side. It's kind of disorienting, and Scrib kind of closes the curtains next to her and goes, I find it quite bracing.
Is there a way to open the window? I want to.
No, I grab Dahi and sitting next to me.
There's a skylight in the top of the stables.
Is it
Dahi, you're the reason that airplane windows don't open.
Yeah.
I feel like there's multiple reasons for that
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Like, is it like lots of G-force? Are we like stuck in our seats, or is it?
Not as much as you would think.
Okay, phew. Okay, because that would have been absolutely
Seems
terrifying.
to be some kind of enchantment involved that allows it to go this fast without you being like smushed against each other. Like,
whichever one of us gets back to Earth first, we can reimagine Santa in the coolest way possible. You guys, change the horse to reindeer, and this is the coolest high tech Santa.
Do the horses have names, Scriv?
Oh, not that I know of. Although, honestly, I've never spoken to the inventors. It's Piskies, I know that much, but they kind of invented it, set it going, and now it just goes. So it just stops at, most of the major cities, apart from, ironically, Barrow, where the Piskies live.
Oh.
I don't know what to make of the fact that the people who invented this did not want it to
sad.
come to their own city.
Yeah, it feels like an oversight.
Yes.
I think Briar is remembering her dream of what happened with the Piskies before, and this is kind of like, that makes sense. That makes sense. They're afraid.
Yes, I don't know. Yes, maybe they're just incredibly generous and forgot to, to serve themselves along with everybody else, or I don't know. But yes, I've never conversed with the horses. I'm not sure that they have the power of conversation.
I just, sometimes people name things even if it's not sentient. I just didn't know if people just named the horses.
Like a sword, Excalibur.
Right, yeah, like Excalibur doesn't talk
like
that I know of.
Well, if you wanted to name the horses, then I will certainly endeavor to continue to call them by those names.
Metal Morgan.
No!
Metal Morgan, Power Ranger.
Morgan would definitely vote for Clopsy Mark II, because
we just name them after our own pony.
Yeah, why not?
All of them.
Horse Morgan 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
These are very unwieldy names. I'm not sure they'll catch on. And just as she's saying that, the Bolt Heart is going along, and suddenly it screeches to a halt, and you hear the whinnying of the horses out front. And Scrib's sort of like, "Oh, are we here already?" And sort of opens the curtain. She's like, "Oh no, they seem to have stopped short." Dahi, would you like to put your head out of the skylight and see what's going on?
Yes, absolutely. The player gas was definitely not looking frantically searching up Fortnite dance names to figure out what their horse would be called. And it's absolutely great. Let's
Okay, So you clamber up, maybe on one of your teammates' shoulders, and poke your head out of the skylight. And it's, classic train situation where you can climb out on the roof if you need to. But you can see as soon as you're up there that something is laying across the tracks. There is some kind of construction of like tree branches and like netting. It's clearly like constructed to look like a solid barricade or wall, but it just kind of looks like a little bit shaky, and you can see figures moving behind it, and the sort of metal horses are kind of standing impassively, sort of looking at this blockage as if to be like,
Pisky's invented pretty good braking system.
Well, that's I appreciate
Pretty
that.
good. This seems like a holdup, It seems like a barricade, but not really. Do you think this is gonna be like a Wild West situation? They put a barricade on the road and then try and stick them up?
Ambushes. Yeah.
I think so.
You hear a voice from behind the barricade going, "Actually, it's very good barricade."
Oh, sorry, it's a very good barricade. It's
I
not
think
hold
you
up at all,
offended the
don't
people who
worry.
built the barricade.
And you just hear this whispering behind, like, "Should we go now? Is it time?" Yes. And they sort of
Surprise.
pop out, and they are these large, unwieldy creatures with kind of grayish brown skin, kind of wearing, simple clothes, sort of matted hair, kind of big bulbous noses, and arms that are incredibly long, arms that reach down past their knees, sort of come out and sort of say, stick up, give train.
Train?
You want the train?
You want the whole train.
Whoa.
The train can't go anywhere. There's such a good barricade in the way, though.
They are,
And the train's not even ours.
They're moving to surround the train carriage, and kind of there's 5 of them, and they sort of stand around the train carriage, and they start to reach for Dorothy, who's poking out of the skylight in my head canon.
No.
They just like reach for him and take him. There's like a big arm, and Scribbs like looks out the window, and you hear her go, "Oh no, that's trolls! Stay away from the trolls!"
No, don't worry. My vibes are so good. I'll talk to them.
One of them reaches out a hand, and they're not like, they're about 9 feet tall. They're not like giant.
I'm ready for my King Kong damsel moment.
They're bigger than any human, and they kind of reach out, and they're able to lift you like a small child. And sort of one of them holds in front of it and goes, "Give train," and sort of shakes Dorothy a little bit.
Okay, no.
I will rush out and go, whoa, and I'll pull out my library card, and I'll be like, no, let's negotiate. This is me. This is my credentials. Let's talk about this. Just put him down. That's not good.
Just looks at you like, "Get out of train. One train."
The train isn't good. It doesn't even work.
They all look at each other like, Is this true? Train
What?
don't
It's
work?
completely
Just
stopped.
saw the train working.
Yeah, but it stopped. It broke down.
Yeah.
Right before it hit your barricade.
You lie to Grub.
No, stop.
At this point, one of them climbs up, gets impatient, and climbs up on top of the train and starts reaching down through the skylight. Too big to get through, but there's sort of like reaching down for the rest of you in there. There's this long arm reaching in for Ellie and Bobby and Briar, who are still in there.
Okay, how bad of an idea is it for me to try to summon lightning?
Go for it.
I think you should do it.
Yeah, we can treat this as a disbelief battle if you would like. So yes, you can absolutely try and shock one of them if that's what you want to try and do.
I would love to try to shock one of them with lightning. Not to kill them, but to just Get them to leave
Like
us
a-
alone.
like a buzzer.
Okay, so which one are you going for in particular? There's
I'll hold my
one
kite
that's
up
reaching
as a
in through
lightning
the
rod.
carriage. There's
That
one that's
one.
holding.
No.
Okay, the one that's reaching in through the carriage. Okay, cool.
Because if I go for the one
Um,
that's holding Dahi might get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we both roll, and you can shape. Remember that you can now use more advanced shapes. So we should really figure out what lightning is.
I am looking it up right now.
Yeah.
ASL for lightning, because I'm using ASL. Oh, that is awesome! It's
Oh, very cool.
It's like this. That is such a cool sign.
Okay.
All right,
yeah.
so she's just gonna go lightning and hope that it
Okay.
strikes the one trying to get on them.
Okay, so you get a +2 for your sign because
Ooh.
it is a level 2 sign. You also, because the troll is a non-shaper, you are dominant here, so you get to re-roll 2 of your dice because you're level 2.
Whoa.
Okay. And how many dice am I rolling?
3d6, always 3d6.
3d6. Okay, just making sure. Okay. Ooh, and I get +2. All right, I'm gonna re-roll 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's a 17.
Nice.
17.
I got 3 5s.
Unshakable result. You all gain 1 belief.
Woohoo.
Amazing. So yeah, the troll is just completely unaware that this is about to happen, just scraping around in there, just being like, let Bunnock in. And you just the lightning comes down and just zaps them, and you just see them sort of shake for a second, and then the hand just like meekly withdraws, and they just climb down and just go, oh, that hurt.
I'm sorry.
Just drops
Well,
Dahi,
yeah.
and they just sort of look at each other like panicked.
Oh, no, I do like a quick air cushion quickly. Like,
You catch Dahi before they hit the ground, and the trolls sort of look at each other and just scramble, just scatter and run away.
No, we could have talked it out.
You can still call after them if you want. There's not
Your
like
barricade was really cool, actually. Better luck
one of them.
next time.
You just hear one of them sort of go, I told you it could barricade, and the other one's just going, they make fool of you. And they're just running.
oh.
Okay, so it takes you a minute to tear the barricade down and clear it all up, but then you can keep going.
Was it a good barricade?
It was not. No, it was sticks. You get the feeling Scriv sort of helps you take it down, and Cecily, and Scriv sort of says, well, I think those were quite young trolls, actually. We got lucky because I mean, I just caught a glimpse through the curtains where I was bravely waiting to come to your aid.
Very brave.
And I have to say, those are small, on the small side for trolls. I've seen them 12 foot tall.
Dahi, are you okay? They were really
Yeah.
shaking you quite vigorously.
Yeah, but we electrocuted them. That was just like...
Yeah, I'm just saying if you're okay.
¿Cómo
Any
que
broken
we?
Yeah, it
bones?
was just like a roller coaster.
¿Cómo que
Unbelievable.
we?
Unbelievable. Completely unshakable. And I go back inside the carriage.
Completely unshakable. Wonderful. Okay, so you get back in and carry on with your journey. Only about half an hour later, because of how fast you're traveling, the Botheart does pull in to another lonely station in the middle of countryside, surrounded by boggy purple heather. As you exit onto the station platform and the Botheart pulls away, rain begins to come down in a slow drizzle. The day isn't cold, but overhead there are a covering of white and light grey clouds, but the occasional dark one mixed in there. And then the occasional gap, which sort of drags a spot of sunlight over this moor that you stand in the middle of. Sort of the kind of weather that promises that it could just drastically worsen or get better at any moment. Kind of unreliable. Your ponies are there. You've gotten them off the Bolt Heart, and you trek over the moors. As you pass, you occasionally startle grouse or pheasants, which fly up suddenly, shocking you from this low carpet of dense foliage as you are passing over this high place. As you pass over a hill, the land drops off ahead, and you catch your first glimpse of Shedscale. And it's a familiar one. You see a huge waterfall tumbling down over a layered cliff, forking into two streams. In the center of the two streams, a settlement. You see wooden cabins, some probably only the size of, the ground floor of a house, some much larger, bright cooking fires. And then one thing that you didn't see on the vision, on the sort of eastern bank of the eastern fork of the river, you see a stone building, a white stone building, which Scriv points to and says, "Oh, that right there is Ethelyn's spa. You see the steam rising? That's from the hot springs. Yes, you should definitely try them while we're here. They're very restorative, and you've been through a lot. It's very relaxing. Oh, I do hope Ethelyn's in. I'm his aide, I'm their aide. That's my patron." They sort of cop along. Soon you reach Shedscale itself, and pass over one of several bridges into the town. As you enter, you see a new type of fae that you haven't met before lining the streets. These are worm-bitten. They are scaled with long sort of tails, long-limbed. They all have the same kind of strangely pointed faces and large, complicated, curved horns into which some of them have chosen to wind and plait their long, dark blue hair. Their skin is blue-green, and they, in contrast to the Glow, who were very ebullient and excited to see you, the Worm-bitten seem happy to see you, but they kind of stand with their hands over their hearts out of respect as you pass. You enter the town, and sort of Scriv kind of nods to everybody, putting her own hand to her own chest. Scriv says, "So, yes, we'll go to the Longhouse first and meet the leader of the Worm-bitten. Yes. So, everybody on your best. I know they're quite solemn, are the Worm-bitten, but they're very lovely, very gentle, very kind when you get to know them."
How long
you
are
pass
we
through.
supposed to do the
Just until they go about their business. And as you see, as you get to the sort of Longhouse, there are a few standing on the steps, but as you dismount, they kind of like come forward, take your ponies, and outside the Longhouse there is a statue of a pendragon, a woman standing, looking very serious, reaching her hands up like this, focusing. And underneath the statue, you see an inscription that says, "Mari the Mighty."
Very good.
And yeah, you are there at the doors of this. It's not a palace. It's kind of a large wooden building with intricately carved eaves. And you see within the carvings kind of sinuous dragons, not the kind of worms that you've met in the Isles, more like the Japanese river spirit type worms, long and sinuous and curved. And yeah, Scriv sort of says, "Okay, so I think I'll just poke my head in," and sort of looks and says, "Oh yes, they're waiting. So yes, polite things with the Worm-bitten. They aren't worms. They aren't exactly the same. A lot of people get confused with that. They are fae, and they're not quite. there's rumours of a connection, but nobody's quite clear on what. So it's best not to lean on that too heavily. Just it's not a sensitive subject quite. It's just kind of they will have been asked that question a lot. If you get what I mean. Okay. All
You
right.
seem very nervous.
Yes, it's just that well, Sarisa is quite grand. And I don't know if she really appreciates my talkativeness. Anyway,
I'm sure they'll love us. We're so charming. Our vibes are good.
Look, script. It's fine. Look, if I've got and goes to like one of the pages and said, "There's something I wrote down, which is you can't be everyone's cup of tea. If you were, you'd be a mug. So don't worry."
Oh, that's quite good. That's quite clever. Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh well, can't say it helps right now, but
okay.
Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. So, do I look okay? Okay. And she sort of opens the doors and sort of bows low and then says, "Sarisa Halftail, I present to you our newest crop of Pendragons." And she sort of walks forward along the aisle, and you see a long benches, long tables with benches alongside of them, more of these pillars carved with more dragons going up into the roof, and then at the end, sort of a raised dais with a wooden throne on it, on which sits and then stands to greet you an elder worm-bitten with curved horns, hair long and loose. She wears a kind of bit of a chain jewelry wrapped around the horns. This kind of seems to be the type of signet or tiara. And she wears a wrap dress, black heavy silk, and a sword at her hip. And she stands and says, "Welcome to the Pendragons. Shedscale is honoured to make your acquaintance. Please take a seat."
Yeah, silently just sit down.
Yeah. You just hear Morgan saying under her breath, "Don't be a mug, don't be a mug, don't be a mug." And sits down next to
He's
Briar.
doing his best not to talk at all because he knows he's gonna screw it up the second he opens his mouth. Just vibrating in place.
Ellie kind of looks at Scrib and goes, "I get it now, yeah."
So Sarisa sits and kind of looks at you all, one after the other, and says, "So, you come here on your quest. You are early. We didn't expect you on your tour quite yet. Have you changed the order?" And Scrib says, "Oh, no. No. Sorry about that. We've just something's come up. And I'm afraid we have some grave news." Sort of looks at you all.
I hand over the journal, being very careful to obscure the determined part of it, and just be like, so you see, and explain about finding Mordred, and then finding bits of Excalibur and stuff, and then at the end just be like, and then on the way here we got stopped by trolls, but obviously that's no problem because teenagers. Oh god. And then we're here, and yep, that's the end of the book. Take it back.
This is very troubling. Mordred has not come to these lands for 1,500 years. We had a different relationship to him than the rest of the Fae.
Is it because of your connection to the worm?
Daddy! It's quite all right.
Sorry.
We don't know. It's nothing I haven't heard before. Certainly that's what drew Mordred here, as far as we understand. He believed us to be descended from the worms and believed that we would find common cause with them in his war. We did not. We stayed loyal to the Fae. We upheld our oath and our treaties. But still, she looks like she's thinking about how much to tell you. And Scriv says, anything you could tell us at all, honestly. We've got an well, there's other things. I mean, I suppose we had heard perhaps there would be a piece of Excalibur here. Sarisa thinks for a minute and then says, oh, it's here. We're not exactly sure where.
Do you have any boars here?
No, that's Avalon.
I just didn't know if there would be more than one. Any kind of creatures that are good at smelling things?
No, I'm afraid not. The worm-bitten, mostly this is a place of healing. We have Ethelyn makes their home here. They have their baths, their spa. A lot of our activity is based around that. We don't do a lot of hunting. We mostly cure people.
Do you think that it's Excalibur that's giving... Well, actually, that would probably be the Inspired giving the hot springs the healing properties.
Worth a check.
Yeah.
Well,
wasn't it
you
King
see,
Arthur's shield that made him... Or no, it was the sheath that prevented any physical harm, right?
yes, I believe that that he had a sheath that was infused with belief. But no, it's a mixture. It's the hot springs are natural, and Ethelyn's set up here, and then Ethelyn's element is water, and Ethelyn has a particular interest in curing and healing, and all the things married together. It's hard to say what came first. The healing powers of the water or the healing powers of Ethelyn, or it's hard to separate the two, really. And Scrib's like, oh, is Ethelyn here? And Susan's like, oh no, sadly not. He's gone spelunking. Yes, he'll be gone a few days.
Spelunking
As I say, we weren't expecting you. Scrib says, well, they tend to spelunk in the Under Isles.
Right.
I am sadly barred from accompanying Ethelyn on those trips. Apparently, my voice resonates in a small space.
Just sorry to go past. Obviously, we can look for Excalibur, but it's pressing matter of the Dark Knight, the Eric. Again, not to assume, but if you said Mordred came here before searching for your aid and then found none, I don't suppose there's been reports of a sudden-looking boy hanging around anywhere, or any unusual activity on that front?
No, we've not. No, we've not had reports of that.
Okay, so maybe not here yet.
Maybe not. And one can hope that he doesn't know about our connection. Mordred and Ethelyn formed a bond. Ethelyn believed Mordred could be healed and attempted to do so, and failed. But they formed a sort of strange friendship. Mordred came here. The stories go, I'm not quite that old, that Mordred came here thinking he would find allies in the Wormbitten, and Ethelyn tried to convince him to steer off his path and stop being so destructive. Mordred left unconvinced, but we did not ally with him. Then later, after Mordred defeated Arthur, he sent a fragment of Excalibur to Ethelyn as a... Well, it's hard to know what the message was. Some think it was a final attempt to draw Ethelyn in on their side, and some think it was a way of saying, I win. But the tales say that Ethelyn asked Merlin to hide the shard somewhere near here.
Is there a wizard tower near here?
No.
Dang it.
No. That would be quite an obvious candidate, but...
Is there a
No.
giant tree?
No, just a big waterfall.
Oh.
Is there anything past the waterfall?
Splits into two, right?
Yeah, but you know what? In video games, when there's always the secret chest behind
That's
the
what I was
waterfall.
thinking too.
I don't really
Yeah.
play video games.
Oh, sorry, forgot you were in your one-person handwriting club.
Books are important.
Handwriting is not books, though.
I think you'll find someone will be able to read my words.
The handwriting has come in very handy, and there's probably some books where things are hidden behind waterfalls.
Dahi, stop roasting Morgan.
I'm sorry. They're just right. It's just right there.
Don't be a mug. Don't be a mug.
Scriv shoots you all a
You're
look.
not a
Says, could there be something behind the waterfall? I mean, it's a good question. It'd be a good place to hide something. And Cerisa says, well, I mean, the rocks around the waterfall are very treacherous. Nobody has tried to go behind it. It would be very dangerous.
It's the best place to hide something if it's dangerous to get there.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. But I have to recommend that you don't attempt it. It's... I will try and find out more, but that's really all that I know about Mordred. You should try the baths. Everybody who comes here does, and I've heard many a good tale from the Pendragons of them enjoying it. So, you are early, but make yourself very welcome. We've prepared a cabin for you by now, I'm sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Scriv sort of nods and says, okay. So, yes, let's get to our accommodation. Thank you very much. Sort of deep curtsy, and leads you out and says, well, so the waterfall
That went
then?
super well.
I thought it went
Right.
okay.
You didn't even put your hand up when asking questions that time. You were so confident.
Oh, I didn't want anyone to get mad at me.
We're really making progress. Wonderful. So,
Jump behind the
it's good.
waterfall right now.
Oh.
I think we should just go straight to the waterfall, and then if we get hurt,
Yeah.
then we can go to the healing thing.
Well, that does seem
She really
like
didn't want us to do that.
Bro, it was a recommendation. We need things that are stronger than a recommendation not to do them.
I mean, yes, perhaps it's just that she doesn't want to be responsible if you were to get hurt. I can relate to that.
You are responsible if we get hurt, though.
Yes, maybe. But
We're not gonna get hurt, and if we do get hurt, we'll be in the healing water if we're under the waterfall. So
I'm not
That's a
sure
good
the
point.
waterfall counts. And she looks up, and the waterfall is like literally like it's huge. It's tons and tons and tons of water flowing down from the top of a cliff.
With headphones users.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. Everybody here sleeps very well.
Yeah.
well, good thing we have Bobby.
I was just gonna say
Let's
this.
fall into water.
What are we
All
gonna
the
do?
episodes.
Bobby's just doing background animation of like just. Ah.
We're kidding, Maddie. We miss you. Feel better.
Yeah. Okay. So do you head straight up to the waterfall?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Scriv sort of sees about getting the ponies stabled and getting everything sorted, and wishes you luck, points out where you'll be staying tonight, and you head off out of town towards this waterfall. As you approach it, one of those patches of sun comes overhead and a rainbow forms in the mist, just like the one that you saw in the vision in the mausoleum.
And here I thought Arthur was just saying gay rights. Oh well. Hello.
You head towards the waterfall out of town. I mean, the small island formed by these two streams is very well covered in these log cabins and houses, but drawing closer to the waterfall, you start to come into sort of the part where water is continually being thrown up into the air as mist from the tons and tons of water hitting rocks. So it's not sensible to build anything in this damp, and your clothes begin to get soaked as you draw nearer to it. It's harder to keep up a conversation. You have to shout over the sound of it. Searching around, you find a place to pass over one of the streams, and you see, now that you're close enough, you see what looks to be a stone staircase leading up the side of the waterfall. It is slick with water continually, and the mist is absolutely soaking you at this point. Your hair is just fully saturated. What is the plan?
I think Briar's first inclination is to is just like thinking of all the times where she's been someplace where it is like slippery and like what people do to try to make places less treacherous. So it's just thinking like shaping the stone staircase so there's a bunch of little like bumps so that they're not as slippery.
That's cute.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll for it if you want to give that a go.
Yeah, I am looking for what the ASL for the word rough is, which I think is this. Something like that.
Very cool.
Like flicking across, it seems like. So I will roll for that. So 3d6. Oh, okay. I get +2 if I use the better signing, right?
Yeah, +2 for your sign.
That's 11.
Oof.
11 is what you needed to succeed. And the stairs which lead up and up and up, like you have to stare very hard before they even look like stairs, but once you see them, they are evenly spaced and they go up around the edge and then behind the waterfall, and you form these bumps on all the steps,
like
and
this, and the little bumps
are
they
go
up.
from being they go from being glass slick to being textured, and you can even think about making purchase on them. Okay, so you begin to climb these steps, and you reach a point where, even from the bottom, it didn't look like it was going to be this hard, but at a certain point, the water is so loud and it's just so close, increasingly so as the stairs draw closer and closer, it becomes quite frightening. Maddie's not here, but at this point, I would imagine we would ask her to shape some water and try and push this curtain of water aside. Does anybody want to roll for Maddie?
Who has
For
good
Bobby,
luck?
rather.
No.
Yeah, Nox, absolutely.
Yeah, Nox has good luck.
Yeah.
Hot dice.
I'd help as well
Oh,
by
don't
sort of,
jinx
like,
it.
no, but just by using like air to sort of help like buff it so that you've got the water passing and the water's to stop getting in our faces, perhaps, so you can actually concentrate on that.
Okay, yes.
I was going to say I can try to make it into steam, so that way it's easier to move.
And just move it out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I
So we've
need
got
you
two
guys to
people
know
helping.
that my first whenever we're faced with a task like this, my first thought is, what would Dahi do? What's Dahi's approach to this? And it would be, okay, we gotta get rid of the water. We don't have our water person. Okay, when in the water cycle is there no water? When it's evaporated by the sun. Let's blow the clouds away and it'll evaporate the waterfall. Easy, done. Let's go. And
Okay, so Dahi's trying to blow the
That's-
clouds away to
Yeah,
create
that's
sunlight.
yeah. Not letting anyone in on this plan. He thinks it's really obvious, so that's
Yeah, I'm just looking at Dahi going, okay, no.
I'm not sure Dahi's thing helps with the water, so I'm going to say
absolutely
Okay. So
Okay,
steam is like
so we're going to let Dahi
this.
roll separately to see if they manage to.
Oh,
if he
no.
manages
3
to do
6s,
that.
baby.
You did not.
A 6, a 5, and a 4, so close
Oof.
enough.
Whoa,
15.
so
15, yeah.
a 15. The sun comes out. It is blazing sunshine, glorious.
And now we wait.
Okay. Nox, how did you roll for Bobby?
I didn't because I was trying to ask what we were gonna what I was adding.
It's +2 for the two people helping, and +2 if you do a more advanced, a second level shape, which you did, I think.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
4.
okay. That 12 plus 4.
Yep, 16.
16,
Okay.
yeah, that's a solid success.
Woohoo.
So with the effort of Ellie forming the steam and Morgan keeping the spray back, Bobby concentrates and pulls, just like pulling a fabric curtain aside. She pulls aside the curtain of this water, and you see a space beyond. The stairs lead to a open platform behind this waterfall, and just beyond you see 3 knights standing in front of a stone archway.
Oh no, not again.
I didn't catch that.
Ooh,
Oh.
Siri. Siri.
Oh no, not again. That's what we said.
Oh no, not again.
Oh no.
And with that, I think we're going to take our break.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Just waiting for our director to give a thumbs up. So yeah, we're going to take our break. If you've been enjoying this, please do subscribe to the channel. Remember to hydrate, take a break, take a walk around. That's what we're going to do. And join us back here in 15 minutes for more of our story. Thanks very much. See you soon.
Woohoo!
Congratulations.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to our penultimate episode of Inspirisles. We were just on the cusp of chasing down the mystery of the final piece of the legendary sword Excalibur. And we had just pulled aside the curtain of a giant waterfall to find a stone platform behind the waterfall on which stands 3 knights, or at least suits of armor. You don't necessarily see people within them. You see, but the helmets are those closed kinds where it's just a bar for looking out of, holding swords. But beyond them, you see an archway with writing over it in Brittonic. What do you do? Jumping right in.
Do you think we can steal these sets of armors like Eric did with Mordred's? Do you think? Do you think?
Do they
Doggy
look like?
cries over the sound of the rushing waterfall.
Did they look like the knights that were round Mordred's pool?
The ones around Mordred's pool were made of stone. And were old stone statues that have been badly weathered, and a lot of the details have been worn away, although you did have that kind of Celtic knotwork. The archway looks like similar stonework, sort of the knotwork around it and the decorative elements. The knights, they are suits of armor, at least, standing there.
Also, for the talking issue, which probably won't be an issue for too long, but can we do like, you know, the like can and a string thing, except the string is like a little tube of air, so that we can talk to each other.
Just a tube of air swinging around. Whoever's dying wants to talk.
It taps you on the shoulder, and you're like, "What is it? What is it?" And you back and forth as it taps you on the shoulder as it's going.
I love
Totally.
that. I want to try to just like walk. Are the suits of armor like standing in between us and the archway? Like, are they blocking?
Yeah,
something?
the 3 of them are standing kind of not quite shoulder to shoulder, but close to each other in front of this archway, which just appears to be clear to be a archway carved in a flat stone wall. Like,
I think I want to try to squeeze between them to look at the archway.
Well, as soon as you step forward onto the platform, they raise their swords.
Whoa, not cool!
They're clearly standing in a defensive way. They lift their swords slightly tilted towards you. Just kind of stand ready. Kind of their feet shift slightly into a more of a fighter's stance, but they are not advancing on you. They just have their swords up as if to be like, whoa.
I'm just gonna yell because it's so loud. I'm just gonna yell.
We're
Pendragons. We're supposed to be here.
The knights do not react. They keep stock still. They have made no sound, and as you look at them, you can't see any eyes beyond the barred helm. You see darkness within.
Hey yo, I got Excalibur. Does that help?
Oh no.
Approach the knights with that. Nothing. Okay. Morgan.
Morgan is finishing her pizza. Yeah.
Where did Morgan get a pizza from? She's behind a wall.
Yeah, that's
secret Pendragon power summoning food.
Share soggy pizza from the waterfall. Yeah. Morgan, we tried running at it head on and it didn't work.
Did you try speaking to them? Briar spoke to them.
Yeah.
I yelled at them.
Maybe they didn't like being yelled at?
Well, they can't hear me if I don't yell.
I'm gonna...
Are we sure there are people in there and they're not just animated suits of armor?
I think they're just animated suits of armor. I didn't see
I
any
use
eyes.
a little...
Maybe they
I
can't
use a little
hear.
wind to like flip up their mask.
Oh no.
You
I go back to eating my pizza.
Show me the shape that you use, please. Just to get us some shaping in here.
Apparently, it's just for flip.
Okay. You flip their mask. You don't manage all three, but the one closest to you creaks open, and there is a skull beyond.
Put it back.
No!
Put it back. Put it back.
No! Put it down! Put it
I'm so sorry, sir. You have a great face. Really good defined bone
High
structure.
cheekbones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the bone structure.
I'll go up with Briar, who's taking a step in, and sort of like hold my hands up to be like and shout across, saying like, "We've come to claim the last piece against the battle of evil. It's still not won, and we are Arthur and Guinevere's chosen, but having my hands ready to do a Hadouken push if they should advance." So I'm just like defenseless, sort of.
They continue to stand impassive. As you draw closer, you begin to see the Britannic in the archway, and you see that there are you and Morgan and Bobby spent time studying Britannic in Morgan's room, and you have retained some knowledge from that, and you can see a few like pieces of the alphabet that you remember here and there in amongst the words in the archway, but you would need a second to translate it.
Okay.
What
I need
about Ethelyn? They're the one that set this up, right?
possibly.
Because they were given the sword, so they must have set this up as
No, Merlin set it up.
Merlin set it up. What do we know about Merlin? Wizard.
Wasn't he like in love with
abracadabra.
Arthur or something?
In real life or in BBC? Both?
Briar doesn't know where she knows that from. She just thinks she knows it.
Maybe if you folks can create a distraction, me and Bobby can get closer to have a quick translation of the.
You had me at distraction.
You've already gone.
How does Dahi distract these knights?
He does his breakdance move where he does a tornado with his feet.
Okay. So, all right. You begin to break dance in front of these knights. And at first they don't really react, but then you're just twirling and bucking and twirling doing this move, and you draw closer to them, and they begin to advance towards Dahi, moving away from the wall, but also
Hang
Dahi,
on. The sign for
you're
tornado
about
is
to
so
be in
good.
a disbelief battle. So
Wait, what's the sign
no.
for tornado?
It's okay. You touch your two thumbs together, and then you just go.
Oh, cool.
Wait.
I hope I'm not being lied to.
Okay. So, all right, what are you attempting to do? Are you attempting to wrap these knights in a tornado, restraining them?
Oh.
Wrap or push away. Tornadoes usually wrap. So yeah. Bring them towards me.
So you're going to roll, and they're going to roll to see if they manage to break through that, okay?
The BSL for tornado is just this. So it feels less exciting. So
And like,
well, isn't that just the way? Okay.
I'd really love to see this cast play Sign, the game where you build your own sign language.
Oh, cool. I bet we come up with some really good ones. Okay, so what did Dahi roll? Also, anyone who isn't... So I think if Morgan and Bobby were intending to get closer to the writing, then certainly the knights have drawn closer to Dahi and further out from the wall, so you can both do that. So Morgan, you can roll to see if you manage to translate the writing and take a +1 because Bobby will be helping you. Ellie and Briar, are you helping Dahi as you see him cast this tornado and these knights advancing towards him?
It's okay if the answer is no.
I'm waiting to see what Taylor says.
Yeah, I think sorry, I was looking up signs. I was distracted for a second. I think what I'm doing, because you're trying to draw the knights into like the tornado as a distraction. So I think what Briar is gonna do is, I think this is the sign for magnet,
Oh,
and is
cool.
going to try to magnetize the swords so that the armor all gets like stuck, like so that their
very
swords
cool.
get like drawn together to kind of keep them pulled away to the side.
Right, so
out.
you're going to use the properties of the ore within the sword that
Very
came
cool.
from the earth to draw them together. That's really
Mhm.
cool.
Love that.
Okay, so I will allow you to give a +2 to Dahi's roll if you give me that magnet sign, which you have. Dahi, you've done a second level sign, so that's another +2. Is there any infused item you would like to use for this?
My wind chime. No.
It's making a lot of noise.
Cool.
I don't think I have anything that'll work in this situation.
Hold on.
But that's +4, right?
+4.
Well, wait, no, I
and-
want to.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wanted to see what Bobby was gonna do first to make sure I didn't do, or not Bobby, Briar did first, so I can make sure not to mess with it. If you're doing that, then I want to heat their suits up.
Yeah,
because it's metal.
Okay, cool. All right. So you're doing that. So that's what sign are you going to use for that?
I'm going to use burn, which is like
okay. Yeah, that's a level 2 sign. So that's another 2. So that's a +6.
Ooh.
Okay. So I rolled 11 plus 17.
Ooh.
17 is an unshakable success. You all gain 1 belief. And yeah, so this Dahi, you begin to do the tornado symbol, and this wind whips up in this contained space. The knights look around, beginning to react, but suddenly are drawn together as their swords connect, and their suits as well. This is an unshakable success, so everything worked perfectly. The suits just clank into a knot and then begin to heat. And as Ellie shapes to heat the suits, you see the metal melting together, sticking these knights together at the shoulders by their suits, and the tornado wraps them together. As the tornado fades, the knights are just jammed together in a way where they can't quite
mega knights.
They can't move individually. What was Morgan's role for the
thing? I've not rolled yet. I was going to, if possible, use one of my infused items, which is my pencil, to make notes.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had your library card and your pencil were infused, right?
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Okay. So the pencil is a +1. Yeah. Cool.
Exactly. And then so that'll be a +2. So that's pencil and Bobby helping. There's a 14, 16 total.
A 16. Okay, so as all this hubbub is going on around you, you and Bobby put your heads together, the two introverts working together quietly, like, and I recognize this one. And the ones Morgan doesn't recognize, Bobby does recognize. And the ones Bobby doesn't recognize, Morgan remembers, and you remind each other. You translate rapidly, and writing in your journal, what you have is the way is open to those that believe.
Oh. Hey guys, looking back and just seeing this. Okay,
yeah,
we got to believe.
Yeah, what's up?
We got to believe. I head over to the archway.
In what?
I take a moment and I think, believe. And I clutch my journal and I'm like, I believe in myself. And try to go through the archway.
You mean that?
Fiona does.
Morgan has already passed through the archway as this tornado fades and the clanking of these knights trying to extricate themselves unsuccessfully. Morgan, you pass through the stone.
Oh.
Dahi sprints at it full speed.
No, you gotta believe.
He believes that he can.
Well, he wouldn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like
Bobby sort of takes a second and then steps through with her eyes closed. What about Briar?
Yeah, I think Briar also, like, I think this is the first time that just doing stuff straight with, like, rock and stuff like that has just, like, really, really, really worked. So, like, she thought of an idea. She didn't have to do plants, and she's like, okay. So I think she just kind of saunters through after seeing everyone else. She's like, okay, I believe in myself.
Okay, all right. So you step through, and you have a sense that your companions are near each other because you can kind of hear them moving. But suddenly, going from the darkness within this cavern behind this waterfall, it is bright as daylight. Your eyes, that I assume most of you blinked closed when you were going to pass through a wall, you open, and it is bright,
Absolutely not.
directionless light. Yeah, okay, well then Dahi is just immediately
Blinded.
dazed by bright light. Yeah, it's not clear where the light is coming from because all around you is just dense white mist. But not the mist that was coming off the waterfall. This doesn't wet your clothes. You're already damp from that, but this doesn't wet your clothes, and you can just hear your companions shuffling to either side of you. You walk forward. The ground, the sky, only gravity lets you tell the difference. It's just white mist all around. But as you step forward, not sure where to go, you reach a kind of clearing in the mist that is only visible as you see your companions step out of it alongside you all and look down the row and see each other clearly. In front of you, a table, a circular table, rises up out of the misty, foggy floor with 5 chairs seated around it.
I'll go sit at the table.
Same here. Can we see each other when we start to like move towards the table and sit on it?
Yeah, it seems like you're kind of in like a clear bubble in the middle of this mist that allows you to breathe and see each other clearly. And as you all sit at the table, I'm assuming Ellie is sitting at the table. Nox, is that correct? Nox.
Ellie hadn't gone through.
Oh, had you not got? I thought you said you ran through after Dahi. No.
Ellie
Okay,
didn't
what is
say
Ellie
anything.
doing?
Ellie,
Oh, what is Ellie doing?
Ellie didn't go through. Ellie tried and she couldn't get through.
Okay. You
Well,
all notice
Dahi
that
was gonna
Ellie
do,
isn't
like-
here at this point. What do you
Yeah.
do?
Run back.
You run back into the mist and you come out face to face with Ellie. In fact, you probably bowl into her.
Hey, were the knights giving you trouble? Sorry.
The knights are still clanking, like trying to. It's very Monty Python at this point, trying to extricate themselves from each other.
Good job, buddies.
Ooh.
I can't get through.
No, I know it looks like solid wall, but like if you just run at it, then it's fine.
I ran after Briar did, and I hit a wall, and then you hit me.
Oh, sorry again.
It's all good.
Believe. So you don't believe in yourself? After this and the
Oh my god,
I
lightning
mean-
is striking everywhere.
I mean, Morgan is so sure of herself, and you really took.
Morgan
to
was
this,
shaking
like,
when she said that.
yeah, but she knew she was supposed to be here, and Briar is great at everything she's tried, and you just—I don't think anything can ever shake your belief, which is awesome. And Bobby, like.
Okay, the 4 of you are the
I don't
most
know.
nervous, anxious
my
people I've
person
ever
did
met
all
in
this
my
really
life.
cool stuff, apparently.
And And if the 3 of them can get through, I know you can too, buddy.
Oh.
Look, remember what I said? We're the greatest Pendragons that ever came here. No one else has found Excalibur. No one else did the cool vision things. It said believe. Did it say believe in yourself? Can you, like, believe in the me that believes in you? That believes in you, believes in me, believe in you. Help me help you, help me help you.
She
Yeah?
kind of laughs and goes, "I'll give that a try." Yeah, I'll give that a
Okay.
try.
Okay. Also, hold my hand while we walk through, because then maybe I cheat it if we walk through together like that. You know how, like, sometimes when you
Okay.
turn invisible
Classic
holding on to someone?
Dahi.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. And she'll grab your hand and go, "Okay."
Onward!
Oh.
Also, it's really bright, so close your eyes. I made that mistake the
Thanks.
last time.
Again. Ah!
Okay, guys. And Dahi begins to lead Ellie through the doorway by the hand. Does Ellie believe in Dahi's friendship?
Ellie believes in Dahi.
You
Ellie
pass
definitely
through.
believes in Dahi.
Okay. You pass through into the same space that I have described. And Dahi takes you quickly to this space with the table and the 5 chairs.
Woo, 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 woo! Look at us, Belief Squad!
Briar didn't get
Do you
up
think our
and
horses
Dahi,
could have
like,
gone
ran
through?
back away.
Briar didn't get up.
No, I don't think so. So I think Briar's just kind of sitting at the table, like, looking around, like, waiting.
Elevator music going on up here.
Yeah.
Morgan, you notice as you kind of like, I imagine Morgan would traverse the table looking for the right chair.
Weirdly, yes. How did you guess? I ain't sitting down in no chair.
Well, you notice because you're the only one that has kind of got to grips with the Britannic alphabet, your names are on these chairs.
All right. Briar, don't sit in that one. That's actually my chair. And I'll point.
Plenty
I'll
of
point
chairs for everybody.
No. I'm not being Morgan about this. That is actually yes.
Sorry, I can't.
No, you
read
can't.
this.
No, it's fine. You just went to sit down, and I mean, who sits down in possibly a trapped chair? But it's fine. And I'll indicate to other people where their chairs are.
Well, it's not
Does
like it's got our
everybody-
names on it.
That's Dahi. If you got a box that said "To Dahi, love?" ? Would you open that box?
Yeah.
I know it. That's why.
Yes. Probably.
That's why.
But we already got through the trap. It would be weird if there was a second trap.
I mean, this is King Arthur's sword we're going after. I'd
Yeah.
put all of the traps.
The other stuff, there weren't any traps. It was just kind of there.
Well, think about it. I'm sure if there was a ne'er-do-well that came after them, they'd probably be self-assured as well. So, belief is one, and then sitting down on a chair is probably the second task. Quite scary.
If I would have, if it would have been a trap, then I would have gotten valuable information for you by immediately sitting down, because then you would have known what the trap was.
What if we sit on the table?
I sit on the table.
No!
I'll sit on the table too.
No, you have chairs.
Are we
distinctly
trapped?
named.
I sit on
You
Morgan's
feel,
chair.
you
My
feel
chair.
cold stone under all of your bottoms.
Right.
Nothing traps you.
Okay.
Okay, guys, hang on. Before whatever mystical thing is gonna happen to us happens, because not naming names, we might have a little self-confidence issues with all of us.
not
I've
naming
cheered-
names, but all of
No.
us.
Yeah.
Not your names, so every one of you that's not dying.
Hey. There's 5 chairs, 5 of us, and it has all 5 of our names on it. If we didn't deserve to be here, let alone in Avalon. Then why would they have their names on it?
That's true.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Dahi does have a point. Now, Dahi, will you get out of my chair? I need to sit on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, it's... I accept...
My chair's the coolest anyways. It's a little bit taller.
I was
than
going to
everyone
accept your
else's.
apology, but it's fine. Just
No,
toss
I'm
him out.
sorry. I'm sorry. I might as well sit in the taller chair that's mine.
I very confidently sit down in my chair.
I sit neutrally in my chair.
I think I'm just so busy laughing at Dahi arguing with Morgan that Ellie just sits in her chair without thinking about it because she's busy laughing.
Okay. Bobby thinks for a second and then sits. And as the five of you sit, the stone table in front of you swirls and then reforms itself, and a huge face emerges from the center of a table.
Oh, it was a trap.
Bearded
No!
And it just says, "What do you seek?"
Excalibur!
Very well. You,
Also, hi, what's your name? Nice to
I
meet you.
am Merlin.
Like the Merlin?
The only one I know of.
One and only.
Were you in love with Arthur?
I was gonna ask that.
No. I apologize for my colleagues, oh great and wise Merlin. But it is as my colleague Dahi says, we are here to find the last piece of Excalibur.
Hello, I'm colleague Dahi.
And I have a question. Are you actually Merlin, or are you like the form of Merlin, like a message to us? You know, like is this pre-recorded, or is this happening right now?
A wise question. I am a part of Merlin, which he left here in the form of this enchantment to guard the piece of Excalibur. So,
Okay.
So is Merlin dead?
Oh, it's just a part of him.
His face.
Yeah.
those who seek to wield power would do well
Yeah, here.
to first master truth.
Also, got it down. Easy.
Very well. Drink of the Grail and speak
You got it. Where?
of your cause. And a ghostly cup appears floating above the center of the table. He just grabs it and drinks.
I'm watching so
Yeah, I think we're
scared.
all too stunned. Considering we just spent 5 minutes talking about trapped chairs, we're now watching
The women
possibly
were simply too stunned to speak.
the confidence of an average man.
And the face in the center of the table says, "Ah, you are eager. And why do you seek the legendary sword, young man?"
Because we got 2 pieces, and we need a 3rd piece, or else it's just part of a sword.
Not good enough.
Uh-oh!
Oh no.
Oh, just treating
trap.
it like
Oh, you mean
Funko
like,
Pops
why do
is
we want
not-
Excalibur as a whole, not just this one part?
Collectively, yeah.
You know Mordred, right?
Ah,
Yeah.
Mordred, the Black Knight.
Yeah. Well, there's this guy named Eric Ferry also, who's like trying to be Mordred and is like spreading all that disbelief around the world. And like we think that he's got like cold steel or whatever it was, and like and a blade made of pure shadow as well. And we kind of just want to stop that, you know?
That is a good reason to want power. why do you want power?
This is the first time that Dahi's ever thought inward. It's you see the steam coming
Oh my
in.
god, the cogs.
Learning introspection on the fly.
I don't know. I guess personally it's like the team's power, but if I were to want more power to be not to be the 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 air junior of the team anymore.
Ah. Very good. Next.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, this one's really hard. This one's the hardest one yet. Oh, my head hurts.
Sweating.
Yeah. You did good, Dahi. You did good.
Next. Drink of the Grail and speak your heart.
Well, I'll not to be shown up by. I'll sort of reach out for it, and take it. Oh, great, oh, wise Merlin. My name's Morgan. As my colleague Dahi said, we're here to seek the rest of Excalibur to fight off Eric and his evil forces that will do harm to the whole of the Isles. And the more power we have for that, the more chance we have at succeeding and protecting everyone. But what I think your true question is what desire do I have power for myself? And I think once I would have wanted that power. I wanted to be a leader, somebody that's people would look up to, someone that would treat others fairly and have the power to do good. But I don't think you can do that from one person. I think, for me, I don't seek power. I seek friendship. I seek inspiration in others where I might be lacking in the skills and resources and passion. And I think most of all, I seek friendship. And nice slurp.
Can I change my answer?
Very well, Morgan. Next.
Oh, first try.
Who takes the cup next?
I think I'm looking at Ellie, like kind of like
Encouragingly.
Like, you should go next.
Oh, I feel like this is a you thing.
I think it's
You
in
got this
all
in
of
the
us.
bag.
I think we all have to do
I can
it.
hope it's not. I can hope it's not.
Might be good to just get it over with. Because if you're last, doesn't that make kind of more pressure? But if you're next, then it's like no big deal.
I think Bobby in the quiet does her bit and then passes it on.
Yeah. Bobby takes a drink and just goes, I just want to know what death feels like.
True power beyond death.
Oh no.
A wise wizard you are.
Can I change my
I can
answer
see
to
much
that,
potential
too?
in you.
I mean, yeah, you can go last if you want, Ellie. I just thought you might not want to go last. It's kind of more pressure.
You keep saying that.
Rock, paper, scissors, go!
I think if Ellie doesn't take it, I'll just kind of reach up. Like, okay, I gave her the chance to not be the last one to go. And I reach up and take a sip. Is it the same question as everyone else? Why?
Drink of the Grail and speak your heart.
I drink. And I say, well, to be honest, the Excalibur thing, I kind of mostly was, it seemed like Dahi's thing, and so I just wanted to help him. But now that it seems like that's something we can do to try to keep disbelief from taking over, I don't think I want the power of it so much as I think the reason why we should be the group to do it is because, well, there's not really another group like us here that I know of where all of us are so different from each other and we have such different things that we can do and help each other because, well, I just think if Eric had like an actual friend that he could listen to, then maybe if somebody said, hey, I don't think this is a good idea, then maybe he wouldn't do it. And the nice thing with us is that whenever somebody has a bad idea, somebody does always say, I don't think that's a good idea. And maybe we still do it, and maybe we don't, but at least we have, if somebody was going to go power hungry and start doing all sorts of bad things with Excalibur, I think the rest of us would do something. So I think that's the best way. If you need to use power, that's the best way to do it.
Merlin thinks for a moment and says, so you wish power because you believe you are worthy?
Not me specifically, but all of us together, yeah.
I am asking about you.
No, I don't think so.
Very good.
What's going on? I say to Dahi.
I don't know, but I
Morgan's
really
just
want to change
completely
my
like, what the
answer now.
hell?
I wrote out a whole thing whilst you were doing, and I showed the journal, and I'd written out my whole speech whilst Dahi was doing his thing.
Why did I go first? I need to
Well, I don't know
change
why
my
you went
answer.
first. I don't know. Maybe next time you should go last. Just saying.
You volunteered. Nobody made you go first.
Yeah. You sat in the chair.
Impulse.
You drink from the grail. Like, what else? I don't know.
What is Ellie doing at this point while Briar gives her answer?
Freaking out and trying to think of a good answer. Like, what's most likely to let them be like, yeah, totally, okay, go ahead, so I don't mess this up for everybody else.
As Briar finishes her answer and Merlin says, very good. There's a silence for a moment, and then, Ellie, you're looking down at the table and the face shrinks down and appears directly underneath your gaze.
Terrifying.
Hello!
And what of you? Drink of the grail and speak your heart.
Okay, hope this doesn't go like Indiana Jones. And she just grabs this drink. And she just slowly drinks it. It's like, I didn't melt. Okay.
It tastes like just cool, fresh water.
Oh, that's good. Can I have another sip? I really needed that.
Absolutely. As long as you speak your heart.
This is great. Oh, yeah. What was the question?
Why do you seek power?
Because we have to help everybody else. And I feel like if I don't do this, you're going to tell everybody no. I don't want power. I don't really want this for myself. I didn't ask to be brought here. I followed a turtle. I followed a mountain lion. Sorry, Briar followed a turtle, I think. I followed a mountain lion. Or a wolf. I don't remember what I followed now. Anyways.
It was a mountain
It was a mountain
I
lion.
came here.
We just all feel so connected to each other, we got it confused. That's how tight we are as a group.
And it was, I just want everybody to be okay. And I met some really nice goat people who believe in me. And I have at least one friend here who believes in me. And so I want to make sure that the people I care about and the people that believe in me, I can help them while I'm trying to learn how to believe in myself.
The face drifts back to the center of the table and grows back to its original size. Seems to pause for a second and says, I have heard your answers. Very well. It just disappears. And the ghostly grail that was in Ellie's hand just vanishes into nothing. And there's a pause of a second.
I'm so sorry I messed it up.
And then you all
No.
begin to glow. Similar to how you all glowed together when you donated to the World Tree. And the lines of belief interconnect all of you around this table. And in the center of those lines, zigzagging between all of you, rises a bolt of light, which resolves into the final piece of Excalibur, which clatters down on the table. And as you all reach for it, the white light of this mist becomes absolutely blinding, and you feel a splash of water and open your eyes to find yourselves outside of Shedscale, back on that hill, looking down at the waterfall and at the settlement below, the piece of Excalibur at your feet.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Dahi, pick it up quick.
Should we not
Yeah.
share it? I'm
Well-
getting introspective now, and I'm starting to think.
Oh god, don't question yourself. You, out of the one person out of all of us, you shouldn't be questioning yourself. We need you to be.
And
Give me the sword.
You have the sheath.
No,
anyway,
I'm
so-
not questioning
You're
myself.
the only one of us who believes in themselves completely
Yeah.
from the start.
No, I still
You
believe in
can't.
myself 100%, but I just started to realize that I got really gung-ho about me keeping all of Excalibur, and I didn't ask if you guys wanted to hold it.
Dahi, we never fought you on it.
Yeah, but I'm starting to realize how really actually nervous everyone is, and I don't think you would fight me on it if you did want it.
No, Dahi, you know what? Why don't you hold it on for it for now?
Mhm.
And then when we want it, we can ask for it, and we'll have your permission to do that because you are the true keeper of Excalibur for now. How's that?
Sounds pretty cool.
There you go.
I think I look at Dahi and I say, and besides, I think out of all of us, who's the one who's probably been to a place at the mall that sells swords before? I think it's probably only
You know what?
I've been banned at places.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Ren Fair.
Yeah. Yes, I now see Dahi as the katana boy, and I'm like, yep, that 100%, 100% matches.
I just pick up cool sticks in the forest and swing them around like swords because I got banned from all the places that sell the swords.
It would be cruel not to let you carry Excalibur, Dahi.
Okay.
So you should
Thank
pick
you.
it up.
Should we head back to Scriv?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You head back down into town. You deliver the news to Scriv, who is ecstatic. You have a very nice sort of log cabin to stay in with lovely knitted blankets and cozy fire and everything. It's a lot like the questing cabin, but smaller and without your sanctuaries. But you've got a comfortable place to stay. She's relieved to see you back. And she looks at the shards of Excalibur. It's still in pieces. They are not molded together.
Yeah.
She says, "Oh, this is amazing. Oh, you are so successful. I'm so proud. So certainly we should stay for tonight, perhaps not to be rude. I think they're preparing a feast for us in the longhouse. But then tomorrow morning we can take the I can't even speak. The Bolt Hot back to the questing cabin. There's a stop nearby, and Bacto can reforge this. It will cost some belief, I think. Hopefully
We're
you've
swimming in
gathered
it.
enough.
I-
Wonderful.
We've gained enough. I don't think we're showing off we've got belief.
Yeah, I'm
Look how
making
shivery we
little
are.
things appear.
Well, wonderful. Yes. So hopefully we'll have enough, and
Maybe they're
and
born
he
of it.
can-
Maybe it is just belief. Yeah.
Dahi is trying to go Super Saiyan with the glow of belief.
Your hair is just going straight up.
Amazing. Script's like, no, don't waste the belief. We needed to reforge Excalibur. Do you want the sword or do you want to go Super Saiyan?
Don't ask him. He's not going to be able to
Dahi,
choose.
we spoke about this on the hill.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we speak about? I'm sorry, I just thought about going Super Saiyan. It's really cool.
I thought we had growth.
No. I'm introspective now. Excalibur for the party. Yeah.
I'm introspective now.
I'm introspective now. This is a whole new Dahi you're dealing with. I think about things before I do them.
Okay. So you stay the night, you get feasted. We will pick up there next week.
Ooh.
You can think about if there's anything else you want to do at Shed Scale, and also we will go back to the questing cabin, which will give you a chance to infuse things, try and reforge Excalibur, all of that stuff before we go into our finale. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Great.
Definitely not terrifying.
sounds good.
Definitely not terrifying at all. Okay, so thank you everybody who has been watching along. We have enjoyed this penultimate episode of Inspirisles. I have been Everis Burke. That is YVRIS Everis. And yeah, I'm very excited about next time. So our players have been Nox. Tell everybody who you are and where they can find you.
Hi, y'all. I'm nope. I'm Nox. You can find me on Twitter and other social medias at Noxternal_7. And you can find me here again this week on Girls Run These Worlds, Friday night for Gently on the Wind, which is a Valor game where it's like Studio Ghibli-esque. It's magical girls. We ended up going through a portal. If you want to know more, you can watch the VODs for that, but it's super fun. And on Saturday for the penultimate episode of the show I'm GMing, which is School of the Stars, which is a Kids on Brooms game that has my heart completely, and I'm going to cry when that ends, as well as when this ends. Next week is way full of crying at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah.
Yay. Amazing. We've also had Gasconator.
Hello, I'm Gasconator, and I thought that Nox was going to be like, I'm Nox. Hello, I'm Nox. So that is Gask in a tour. Whoa, getting well faster at that. Yeah, I don't really do much other than this at the moment. Maybe that'll change in the future, maybe it won't. Who knows? They can't stop us from doing more of this though, right? Like, they say that the next one's the last episode, but they can't, like, they're not going to kick us out of the video call if we just keep going, right? Can we just hack into the Twitch and keep going?
Well, I mean,
Ryu,
producer just
okay,
came on camera to be
no,
like,
our
I was going to say,
producer
we
just
do
came on
need
and
a
gave me big
producer
thumbs up.
to enable
she
us.
said yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
No.
Ryu, thank you so much for confirming that for us live.
We got it recorded as well. Thanks. Cheers.
Also, thank you. Shout out to Ryu for coming in, battling with our tech issues, and then tucking us in good night every time we do
Resetting my
this.
router. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Resetting our
Making sure I
captions.
have a gallon of water next to
Yeah.
me.
100%.
Bringing me my pizza. I really appreciate that. Like,
Yeah, where'd the pizza come
Wow.
from? That was Ryu off screen.
Amazing. Okay. Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor Taylor. And you can find me online pretty much everywhere at Roll for Felicity. I also stream on Twitch. Right now I've been doing a lot of crossword puzzles on Twitch, but I do also do tabletop RPGs. I just haven't scheduled mine. Maybe next week I'll have some scheduled that I can promote. But if you want to keep up with stuff that I'm doing, you can follow me on Twitter, Roll for Felicity, and Tumblr, also Roll for Felicity, where I talk about tabletop stuff and also just whatever I'm feeling like. And probably being very sad next week that this will be over.
Indeed. And last but not least, Fiona.
Hello, everyone. So when I'm not trying to make sure everyone believes in themselves, I am Fiona. And I run What Am I Rolling, which is a twice monthly RPG one-shot podcast. I am also the co-host of the DM's Book Club and the upcoming GM's Book Club. So if you like D&D, but you like all these other tabletop RPGs, and you want to read about them, those will be the podcasts for you. Oh, my whole bedroom's destroyed itself whilst I'm talking, so typical. I've lost my dice again, guys. I know, yeah, come on.
You need to get on that, Ryu.
I always like to end. I actually have some stuff to actually promote. I am in an actual play on Friday of Liminal, which is on Actual Play UK, which is going to be fun. I made the character concept after seeing Renfield in cinemas, which I highly recommend checking out if you're into your Draculas. I don't think the other players have any idea what I'm going to do, so that's quite fun. But also, if you're at MCM London coming up at the end of May, I will also be there with some podcasters, my co-host from DM's Book Club. We've got a few friends as well that we're just going to hang out and have fun, so that'll be great. But I always like to end with like recommending other tabletop RPGs. And so if you like tabletop RPGs, but you're like, they're too long, man, I can't keep concentrating for more than 30 minutes. Well, there's a game called Critical Foundations that's got a nomination at UK Games Expo where it has, I think it's 9 episodes, and you can play it in 30 minutes. So it's part board game, part tabletop RPG. I got my one today and it looks very nice, but I've not read anything about it. But I was like, hey, I love RPGs that I can do in half an hour, so go check that out. And yeah, can't wait for the finale. I might also cry as well. It depends on what makeup I've got on. I might have to be very stoic.
What's the finale color to complete the rainbow?
I don't know, because I had a multicolored top on the first one, so it might be grey boringly, but I'm all black, possibly black, just to be really awkward.
Oh, go full goth. Yeah, into it.
Channel Bobby, absolutely.
Nice, amazing. Yeah, and as I said, I've been Evis Burke. I am a game designer myself. I will be at UK Games Expo. I don't have like a booth or anything. I'm just going there to hang around and say hey to people. But yeah, you can find my work on buttonkin.com. I did not write this game. This game is by Hatchling Games, who are sponsoring the stream. Thank you very much, Rich. And now we are going to go and raid Modiphius for some Star Trek fun. So yeah, go and check that out. And thank you again, Ryu. We always have to mention the producer at the end of the stream. Thank you for everything you do. And yeah, we'll see you next week for the finale. Bye.